developer. He's sort of like the lead developer for Condé Nast Digital.
Yep, yep.
Yep. And if you're not familiar with the mothership, Condé Nast, they do the magazine Wired. You've particularly worked on the Epicurious Recipes app, which has been featured on lots of iPhone commercials, which has got to make you happy.
Yeah, it's always that proud moment when you're watching Heroes and suddenly there's Epicurious, that's something you've been working on, being seen by millions of people.
That's pretty awesome. It's got to be awesome.
It does wonders for the download numbers as well.
I'm sure. So, well, in that vein, what is it that you do for Condé Nast particularly?
So I'm the kind of lead iPhone, iPad developer at Condé Nast Digital, just the kind of the digital arm of the publication company. And currently I'm leading a team of about 8 developers working on a couple different iPhone applications for our various properties. Okay,
that's cool. In particular, what was the most recent one that you guys just rolled out?
We just launched Vanity Fair.
I can never remember that name. Vanity Fair.
Vanity Fair, which is our second magazine that we've rolled out on this platform, and that was launched in May. But the way the magazines work, it's actually the June issue that was launched. Right. But in May, and so now we've released the second issue, so you can get July on there now.
Right. Tell me about this platform a little bit. I mean, you say it's a magazine platform. What are you talking about when you say it's a iPhone, iPad, a magazine platform?
I use the word platform loosely. So we started out back a little bit less than a year ago. We started talking about putting magazines on the iPhone. Mm-hmm. At that point, there was no iPad. There were rumors, but nothing else. So in November of last year, we released a single issue of GQ on the iPhone. And a few months later, we released a version of it that allowed you to buy any issue you want within the app. When the iPad came out, we iterated on that and created the iPad version. And then with Vanity Fair, we just kind of expanded the scope a little bit and allowed us to basically fork in like different content. So rather than looking at GQ content, you're looking at Vanity Fair. Okay. The app's slightly different. It's got its own kind of like nuances, and but it ends up being kind of like a configuration kind of thing in terms of differentiating the two apps.
Okay, I got you. Well, so you started off the iPhone. Everything was sort of geared for that, platform. What kind of what did you run into moving that from the iPhone to the iPad?
So the easiest thing to do would have been just to leave the iPhone app as it was 2 times on the iPad.
Right. That's not good enough.
That's not good enough. So we kind of, like with our design team and our product team, we kind of got together and figured out like what would be kind of a good extension of what we had done and what we had learned from the iPhone, and put it on the iPad. And to give you context, we had a very short period of time to do that.
Okay.
From when
I imagine so.
When we learned on, January 27th, the iPad was coming, and we wanted to have something live by the time it was released at the end of March, early April.
Right. So how did you do that? How did you get it out on time? Like, what did you? You didn't have like a super secret iPad or anything. I mean, how did you?
No. So like we have a simulator on the desktop that lets us see what it's going to look like, and fortunately, since the iPad is such like a fast device, and is so powerful, that we were able to, with our knowledge of the iPhone and its kind of like shortcomings in terms of like CPU and memory and stuff, we're able to adequately predict how the iPad would function.
Right. I know you were at Apple's developer conference where they announced the iPhone 4, because I was following your Twitter stream, and I appreciate that. It really helped. Yes.
Got it here.
Yes. You can all be jealous. So
I stood in line for 7 hours.
Yeah, I've seen some pictures of the long lines. It's pretty cool. So what are you guys doing to take advantage of some of the new? Obviously, the Retina display is kind of like a no-brainer, but you have anything in the works to?
We haven't really gone down the path yet. A lot of what we do can't really take advantage of multitasking, which is a big feature of iOS 4. With the Retina display, everything kind of, with the exception of some graphics, like a lot of it comes free. Like I was reading GQ on the iPhone 4 today, and the text is just so
looks beautiful.
crisp and
Right.
beautiful. So I think there's some things within our apps there where we could be using higher res graphics,
Right.
but
Right.
since we're not like a music service or a VoIP application or something, I don't know if we'll go down the multitasking path.
The nicer photos have to be enough to really make it
Yeah.
make it sweet. It's
Yeah,
worth it.
definitely.
Cool. Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Awesome.